Hey guys, I'm back today creating a card using the brand new Humming Along stamp set from the Occasions catalog. It is a cling stamp, and just today I'll be using the Hummingbird. You probably will see this stamp set again. I wanted just to make one quick card. I will be continuing the 3 cards, 1 stamp set for the majority of my videos. I've got a lot of positive feedback from that, so when I can, I will do it. But there will be single card designs thrown in. So I'm going to use some watercolor pencils today. Here are the colors that come in the watercolor set. There are 12. I've stamped my image on some watercolor paper using Versamark Onyx Black ink. Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell Versamark, but I do not like StazOn. So I am using Versamark. If you don't have Versamark but have StazOn, you can use StazOn ink for watercoloring. So I'm taking the pencils and I'm scribbling just some color and I'm blending it out with my aqua pen. I haven't used these watercolors in a long time, so I was kind of reacquainting myself with them. There is one thing I've noticed about these watercolor pencils, and I don't know if it's these or other ones, but if you want to go back and add more color to your image, make sure your image is completely dry. Pretty sure that's how it is with all watercolor pencils, but I noticed it with this because I went back to add more color and it just kind of pilled up my paper and the lines wouldn't smooth out. So you can see when I scribble on some color and then smooth it out with that aqua pen, it smooths out really pretty. The issue is going back and adding more may not be as smooth. So dry in between layers and see if that makes a difference. So I'm using Old Olive, Rich Razzleberry, Coastal Cabana, I believe, and Daffodil Delight for the Hummingbird. And this stamp set does have coordinating dies, which you can purchase. I do not have the dies. This stamp set was actually given to attendees of On Stage in November, so I got this stamp set for free. The dies have a really cool background die. It's not a full background, but it creates some interest in your background that you could add to your card. I really like it. So definitely check that out if you're interested in the dies. So after I watercolored my image and dried it, I'm bringing this micron pen. Again, Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell this, but it's a fine tip pen, and I'm going over some of the lines that weren't as solid black as I liked. So just going over those lines. I'm not sure if this pen is waterproof, so I just made sure my image was dry, and obviously I was not going to go back in and add any more water to my image. I do fussy cut out my image, really simple image to fussy cut. So next I bring in a watercolor panel and I'm taking 3 of the colors. This is Old Olive. I'm going to scribble it on my paper, then use my water pen to smooth out the color. Then I will use Rich Razzleberry, do the same thing. You can dry in between each section. That way, if you have, colors will be bleeding, but I was okay with that because I wanted them to kind of just flow all together. You can also use a dry paper towel and pick up any color you don't want there in an area. And then next I'm taking Daffodil Delight and again, smoothing that color out. I'm going to use my heat tool to dry this panel. And that will, when you dry it, of course my colors are moving around, so I'm trying to not let it go too much into the yellow, but I knew I was putting my hummingbird there, so I was okay with it bleeding over. But drying your panel will also help with warping because I added a lot of water to this and it did warp. Another thing is I get fun foam. You can get cheap fun foam at Hobby Lobby, Amazon. And I added fun foam to the whole back of this and used some double-sided tape. That way it kind of smooths out the card, the panel. It's nice and straight, so any warping will be taken care of that way. Here's my Hummingbird. I'm going to go ahead and attach with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And then I'm taking a scrap piece of rich razzleberry and heat embossing it with white embossing powder. And I stamped my sentiment, wishing you an amazing birthday. And then I will trim it off and use my banner triple punch to punch out a fishtail banner on the end. This punch is great if you're not good at making that fishtail banner by hand, by, you know, just your scissors. Go ahead and add some dimensionals and add my sentiment, and then I do take some rhinestones. Well, hold on, not yet. I take my Wink of Stella and I add glitter all over the Hummingbird, just to give the Hummingbird some sparkle. Now keep in mind, I used watercolors, so it did activate the watercolors a little bit. If you like sparkle, you can actually watercolor with your Spectrum Noir. And whatever your I'm sorry, not Spectrum Noir, but your Wink of Stella. So whatever you watercolor, it will have that sparkle. So go ahead and add some rhinestones and that will complete this card. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. All links will be listed below. As always, I would appreciate your business if you're interested in purchasing this stamp set. I would appreciate you purchase it from my store. Let me know if you have any questions and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.